Hey everyone, it's Michael. I hope you're doing well today, and I have a video here to talk about F1, or as IMDb seems to show, apparently the movie got renamed F1 the Movie. So anyway, this is a 2025 film starring Brad Pitt and Javier Bardem, and it was a big hit. A big hit, dude. And I was so excited for the film. I saw it in theaters, matter of fact, when it came out, like the weekend of, or like the next weekend after it came out. And I was really excited about it. It was from the director of Top Gun Maverick. Personally, I think this is a better movie than Top Gun Maverick. I know that's probably controversial to say that, but I really do think that. That director for Maverick really made that movie special, you know? And it was a Top Gun sequel. I'm not even a Top Gun guy. The best Top Gun movie I ever saw was Hot Shots, you know what I mean? But anyway, I was excited for this film because I like racing and stuff. And Brad Pitt is a great actor. The cool thing about this movie is that basically he's a retired race car driver. And essentially he has to come into his old childhood friend, I guess, whatever he is, Javier Bardem, who he's been friends with for many years, many decades. And he comes to work on his team as one of his drivers for Formula One racing. And I've never really been a big Formula One guy, but I was interested to see what they would do with this movie, because these cars fly, dude. I mean, you know, NASCAR's fast. A lot of these companies that have the car racing stuff have fast races, but F1's like a whole new game, dude. So I was interested to see what we were going to do with that, because the director, with his Maverick style, he had us in the cockpit in the planes in that movie, and that was the big draw for this movie with the trailers and stuff, was being in the cockpit of these cars, right? And that was awesome. The movie's about 2.5 hours long, but what I also liked about it too is that Javier Bardem got to play a good guy, like a good, decent human being and not a scumbag for once. I think the last time I saw him do that, it was that movie Possession, which was a piece of shit, but still... he was really good in the film. Brad Pitt was excellent in the movie. And he's usually good anyway, but I'm not like the biggest Brad Pitt guy. He was good here. I really enjoyed him. But there's actually a younger driver on the team who's kind of an arrogant asshole who thinks he knows everything, like a lot of young people. He's trying to get popular. He kind of wants to be important. And he has a best friend who's kind of like his manager guy, and a cousin or something, and he's really funny too. But this young guy has to learn from Brad Pitt, where they have to be teammates. Now that sounds typical, right? Like it seems like that would be handled in kind of a generic way. I think it really did a good job of balancing old man knowledge with young man knowledge. And one improving off the other, and both improving off of each other in general from the different things they know, like with Brad Pitt never doing Formula One racing really, or not really doing it a long time, I think is what it was. But him kind of having to catch up to speed, the young man knowing a lot of the new tech stuff. It sounds generic, I know, but they handled it well, I think. And there's a little bit of like a romance plot in there too with Brad Pitt and one chick from the team. That's not a big part of the movie. That's literally like 1/10 of this movie. Everything else, in my opinion, is way more important. It has a good soundtrack. I really like that. The racing scenes themselves, dude, they're really great. They're really engaging. The only thing that really kind of irks the shit out of me, this movie's 2.5 hours long, and there's a reason for that. I talked about the old man versus young man issues, you know, between those two characters and how they view the world, how they view themselves too. Brad Pitt is very confident as a character in his skills and what he can do, despite the lack of some of his knowledge. The young man, he is not as confident in himself, but he still tries to show his own self and arrogance a lot of the time. Like I said, they constantly wreck each other over and fucking over in this movie. And dude, the reason I sound irritated with that is because it is so often that like they never win races. The majority of the movie, they're never winning races because they keep going out of their way to sabotage each other on the track, behind the track, whatever. And not like in a spy versus spy, goofy, cartoonish way. Just like one will put the other one in a situation where they can't do anything but lose. And then you'll think that a character, one of these two, will overcome that and then they don't, and they wreck the other person again. It is so common over and over again in this movie, and I don't like that. That's why it's kind of not handled in a generic way, but it kind of just extends the movie longer than it needs to be. And I had a good time, don't get me wrong, but it gets repetitive. It gets really repetitive, and that's something I have not heard one single person on the internet talk about with this movie. It's a great film. It's shot beautifully. Again, those racetrack scenes in the cockpit of the car, fantastic. I love that stuff. I loved learning about the Formula One cars, seeing how stylish they look in the races themselves. All of that stuff was really great, and if that's what you're here for, you'll dig it. It's a very masculine movie, but I think, like, if I took my wife to see this, which she was originally going to go with me, but she didn't, I feel like she would have loved this too, because of how fun it was. And it has a lot of humor to it too that makes it watchable. But that repetitive nature of it, for 2.5 hours of these two clowns wrecking each other over and over again, that grated on me quite a bit. But outside of that, it's a great movie. I really recommend F1 if you haven't seen it. Really cool flick. Has a lot to offer. I could see the majority of people, again, thinking Maverick is a better movie. And that's fine if you do, whatever. It's kind of based on taste. It was a good flick. This is better to me, despite its issues. But a really cool movie nonetheless. I really enjoyed it. And it has a ton of racing. It's not just people standing around talking about like a big race. It does what the Gran Turismo movie did so well, about really focusing on racing a lot in the cars themselves and making that a priority. If you're down for that, if your dad that you take to the theater to see it's down for that, whoever you watch it with is down for that, you're going to dig it, I think. So anyway, have you seen F1? What do you think about it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Is this one of the best racing movies ever made? I would say it's very much possible to be up there. At least in my, like, top 15, top 20, possibly. Anyway, thank you all for watching, guys. God bless you all. Catch you later, and goodbye.